whoa, 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 whoa. Woohoo! This is Dan from Action Figure Magic, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Mighty Sorcerer from Mythic Legions. This is Arazak, or as Homer likes to call him, Azaria, as in Hank Azaria. I don't know why, it seems familiar to him. We'll take a quick gander at the box, so we can see his name on the side. We can see some images on the side as well. All his cool accessories, we're going to be taking a look at those a little bit more in detail, and then the other figures from the line. This is the only one I currently have from this line. I'm not sure if I plan on picking up some of the others. Mythic Legions has so many figures coming out that it's hard to, you got to be very selective. And then we just saw his magical spell piece that came with him. There's another one in there, so we'll do a little bit of comparison when those come out. But let's start with his swappable head because it looks pretty awesome. So the one that he comes with in the packaging, it's more of the standard face. This is an aggressive middle of shooting a fireball. That is beards flowing at the magical gusts of wind that are going against them. That's a really cool head. I got a tough decision on which one do I actually want to display him with. Both are pretty awesome, so I might switch him back and forth for different videos. Like if he steps on a Lego, he's going to be screaming in pain. When he's playing with Legos, he'll have his normal look. And I wanted to take off his hood. I'm not a huge fan of the hood because it almost like sits on top of his head versus hugging it. And we'll just take a look. He's got some nice armor on underneath because, he's a magician. It doesn't mean he's not going to get stabbed. So you got to be well protected. He's got the armor down his sleeves, and even his underoos are armor plated, which is great for battle, but terrible if you have to use the loo. So if we were to put his hood back on, it just slides over the neck, then the head pops on. But since I mentioned I'm not a huge fan of the hood, we're just going to put that away for now and just get him into a little bit of a pose so that we can go through the rest of the accessories and put his staff in his hand and, just play around with him and whatnot. And we'll find a spot for the hood back there so we don't lose that. Just because I'm not going to use it with him doesn't mean I don't want to lose it. Or doesn't mean I want to lose it. Yes, let's go with that. Now, this next piece is a really cool accessory. This is like a shoulder back plating. It's very Sorcerer-esque. Something over the top a Sorcerer would normally wear. It looks magical. It looks intimidating. It's got, usually their backpacks and armor have 2 holes in the back. And I was actually curious what that was going to look like with his robe on there. But the robe, too, has 2 holes in there. So you can kind of align it and then slide those in. Before I really push them in, though, like all the way and have it become like a snug fit, I'm going to see whether or not I want to display them with it because I really like the look of just the robes. So this does look pretty awesome. I'm kind of on the fence whether or not I'm going to display him with it. As far as stop motions go, it's going to get in the way of his arm movements, so I'm probably not going to keep him on him too often because it's going to impact using him for stop motions. But it looks pretty incredible. And his belt came off. He just had a nice big Thanksgiving feast. He had to loosen the belt, and it came right off. It pops back on. You can see it's got a little peg that goes in there. I think my Santa figure is similar. He's got the robe, and his belt is always coming off. Too many cookies and whatnot. And here we have his magical hoogies. That is a technical term. We've got the shorter one for short range magical burst, and then the long range one for long range magical burst. They're pretty awesome. In stop motions, if you twist them and turn them, it'll make it look like they're flowing with the pretty cool magic. So I can't wait to use those a little bit more. I tried to do it a little bit in the opening, making Homer big, but I didn't get a chance to really plan the spinning. So it's not the full effect. And here is some bonus hands. So those are the holding hands. They look very similar to the ones he comes with. I think the fingers are slightly different. Nothing special about those, I would say, but there's some other really cool hands in there that I did notice. So let's take a look. Like these little guys are purely magical hands. That is a hand that looks like it is casting a spell. So we are absolutely going to just plop that one right on there because these are amazing looking. So fingers are out. It's in the middle of like a magic missile or cursing someone. Not like when he's driving, he's cursing someone out the window. That's a different hand gesture, but this is more like a magical spell gesture. And then we got those cool little gripping hands that hold his little accessories that he comes with. So if you're holding like a tail of a newt, I have a frog. That's the hand you're really going to use so you don't drop it because you're trying to pick one of those up off the floor. Terrible. And here is his staff with the magical crystal on the end for all of the really fine casting. And this thing is gigantic. The staff itself is huge. That's going to tower above him. So that is a very intimidating weapon. And also, it shows why he's such a buff old sorcerer because you got to carry around that crystal all day. And it's top heavy, and you got to really use that rich wrist strength. So good for him. Keeping active in his older age. Now, this is a fine looking sorcerer. I really love this look. Just without the shoulder pad thing, just with his staff, he's got his magical hand, he's got his cape flowing, not a cape, a cloak. I'd really prefer him with the belt on. So see if I can just snap that back on real quick. Just my history with the Mythic Legions or Four Horsemen Santa figure, the belt does pop off pretty easily. I'm sure there's a better way to keep it on, maybe glue it or I don't know. It's meant to come on and off, but it's the snap is so small that it just easily comes undone, especially when you're moving them and doing stop motions with it. So usually if I'm going to be making videos, it's going to come off, so I just won't even use it. And the sorcerer will usually say something, the belt's coming off, and then it sounds like a threat, but it's not. It's really just a fashion statement. And now the last of the accessories of our Mythic Legions figure is just his little pouch of goodies. So there's all sorts of magical sorcery type items in there. I saw some bones, I saw some potions, what looked like Christmas lights, so I can't wait to take a look. They are so tiny. The detail in these is absolutely incredible. So here's a little, looks like a bone type thing, like a wishbone, and it's got a little hook on it, so it does fit on the belt. And then we've got a little bird skull also with a little hook on the back, so when he's wearing his belt, they can slide right on it. It might drag down his belt, his pants might fall down, but at that point, you're really opting for, keeping your spell goods nearby. And then this last piece is, I'm gonna say it looks like lights to light bright. So that's probably what it is. He's probably an 80s kid. He loves light bright. He never let go. Most of his spells are going to be some sort of illumination thing. He gets to make clown faces and animals and dogs. He's really nostalgic. He's an old soul with an old beard. Probably the most impressive beard I've ever seen on an action figure. It's long, it's flowing. He's been working on that thing for years. He probably does regular grooming to it. Just, you have to applaud the effort that goes into that. So there we have it. Hank Azaria, the sorcerer. He's got his staff. He's got his cloak. He's got all the cool accessories. This is just an absolutely fantastic figure. Mythic Legions just does it again. If you get a chance to check him out or pick him up, do so. You will not be disappointed. Thanks for watching, and enjoy a stop motion.
Yeah. Good boy.